Yeah, so two international drivers this evening. Let's see how it goes. This is the last one for this year, so obviously, guys, we're just waiting for the guys to join. Joining me in the commentary box this evening is a very knowledgeable gentleman and also very well known within our community, and that is obviously Fernandez. So let us enjoy the evening. We're just waiting for the guys. You can hear the WhatsApp going crazy here at the moment. Everybody's saying, ready up, guys. So they are trying to get ready for rock and roll. So Jonathan's with us, as I mentioned, Mr. Fernandez himself. So we're just waiting and ready to go. You did, but we're going in, so that's fantastic. We're in Abu Dhabi. This is the last race number 21, season 3, almost done and dusted, Jonathan. So obviously we're going to have some fun this evening as it is the last race. Do you have any results on the championship? I'm going to let you do that one. Here we go. Let me put him on the spot right from the start. Yeah, I was hoping Muda was going to be a part. Not at the moment. Yeah, I think we've got a number of quick drivers, and let me just put you into the forefront. Yesterday, I was actually commentating on a team that challenged a South African group called SAAOLR, which was quite an interesting little sect going on. So that was quite interesting. And the end result was the European team Next Gen actually won that, and you know, there seems to be a lot more interest in online racing and what's going on. So we're hopefully going to get them to maybe have a look at a Formula One tier, and obviously get ourselves racing with these guys as well. But as you can see, Devon's already on the track, and I'm sure he's pretty pumped up to be back because he's also been a little bit away, and so nice to have him back on board. Vino for real had some issues with his pedals, so that's why he was, and also we had a hell of a lot of load shedding going on, so that created a whole lot of nonsense as well. But it's great to see that we do have a great turnout for this last event of this particular series, which is Series 3. And yeah, we've already indicated that we will be starting in May, around about May, probably first week in May. We're going to be starting with the next season. So that's season 4, and then it's going to be an absolute ding banger, because what we're going to also do is there's going to be sort of rival teams there. We're trying to get 4 from each association together to come and drive in the F1 season for season 4. So we'll see how that pans out, and hopefully it pans out well, and we get enough drivers interested in coming along and seeing things happen with us here on the South African Academy Online Racing. As we say, fully promoted promoting online racing in South Africa. So that's great, great news that we will do a season 4. Looks as though we've got a number of contenders that have been holding back and wanting to actually join this season coming. So that's also very positive. And as I said, we're going to shorten it down to probably 10 races per season. Maybe 11. It all depends. But I think the word is probably 10 races per season. And obviously that supports the going about and doing things at the moment. So still a number of drivers in the pits. We're out with Hugh. And Hugh's on the track. He's in the Ferrari this evening. We are missing, obviously, Gav Pegg. He's not in here, so his supplement driver has already taken that car. And, yeah, things are going to be looking strong. Jonathan, any news on 19? No news. Yeah, that's going to be exciting. Yes. So I've just had word we've got to have to restart because it seems as though default setups only. I don't know how that got past me. So it looks as though we're going to restart. While I'm restarting and getting everybody together, let's see if we can just pan that out and sort that out. So we'll just take you to the opening screen once again, do the reset up, and get everybody back into the service to get it all starting again. So I'm going to go out quickly and start the session and hopefully invite everybody again. That's a bit of a silly one from our side. Yeah, well, I'm sure we're going to have you going anyway at it now. I think we're pretty much set and done. We've got all 12 guys in once again. So we can, I think everybody's in, yeah? Vino's got a problem with his wheel, as I mentioned, so that's going to be a bit of a problem this evening, unfortunately. So we were about to have quite a nice group in this racing this evening, but unfortunately he's got a bit of a issue with his setup. So let me just go back to spectator. There we go. I'm going to be spectating. And then we go from there. So we can do the transition and just show the guys who are actually on there again. So here we go. Round number 2. I just want to check, is it open or locked at the moment? Where car setup full. There we go. Car setup full. So that should be okay. Is there anything that I've missed this evening, or we're going again? Vehicle damage. Oh my goodness, really? I don't know what's going on. What's going on this evening, man? Yeah, I think it seems as though collision. Yeah, I'm checking what's going on. I mean, this evening it's been a bit of a that should be on there. Formation lap is on. Why did I miss all of this? It's probably because I skipped corners only. Yeah, that should be it. And we should collisions as well. Let me just check. Okay, let me just go there. I wonder why I've done that again. Collisions, full damage, ghosting is on, corner is strict, formation lap is on, racing's on. It should be there. Full damage, collisions on. There we go. So switching through, going too quickly, I think, from my side. So we should be all ready and waiting at the moment. So 14 drivers in at the moment, so that's good news. I think, there we go. 2 spectators, 12 drivers ready to go. And we should be starting this at the moment. I'm just going to check on the stream, see if everything is functioning as it should be. And let me quickly go to the stream itself. Let me go. It seems that I've got a bit of problems with the voice. So let me sort that out. Jonathan, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Good. I'm just going to check quickly if we have that working now. We should have it functioning. There we go. We're back. And about, I just need to get my volume. Just say hello to everybody. I just want to make sure.
Hello, everyone.
Just say hello to everybody. I just want to make sure.
Hello, everyone.
So you are on the stream. Thank goodness for that. Sorry for that, guys. It was a little bit of there we go. I've got staff saying he can hear you, so that's a good thing. So we're all good and ready to go. The guys can ready up now, and we'll be on our way.
All right. And there we go. We're officially underway. Q1. A second go at it. Had a go earlier on. There was had a bit of a problem in the settings. Cars were locked to default. So we start now again. Beginning of Q1. No one has left the pits. You see everyone just fiddling with their setups.
Yeah, everybody just fiddling around getting their setups ready. There we go. Devon's out first, so let's let him take us around the track again. He seems to be the quickest. Obviously got it saved and put on, so let's see how he's going to be doing out there. I'm going to let Jonathan take you through the process there as well.
Actually riding on board with the Alpha driver, Ricky. Let's go with Ricky Bobby. But he was the first man out of the pits, got out ahead, just ahead of Devon, I believe. So he'll be the first man to set a lap time. Coming into unfamiliar territory with my commentary. I'm trying to commentate on people I don't know. So, don't know much about Mr. Ricky. Maybe Savvy can give me some backstory. But he will be the first man to set a time. Ricky now over the start-finish line into Sector 1. He's going to be the first driver to start a quick lap. We do have multiple cars out on circuit. Only 2 drivers remaining in the pits for now. That's Tips and Springbok Gamer. Everybody else out on circuit. So lots of action on circuit. No one set a lap time as of yet. Man we ride with now, he will be the first one to set a lap time. Put down some sort of benchmark. To be honest with you, I haven't practiced this track in so long, I don't even know. I wouldn't be able to tell you if that was a good benchmark or a bad one. Goes over the start-finish line now. Still waiting for that fast lap. So have Nismax out on circuit. And the Williams. Yes. So Devon goes over the line 141.0. He's beaten immediately with a 136.7 by DW. That's your championship leader. This is your championship contender, Nismax. We ride on board with him. Obviously, if my calculations are correct, he's 22 points behind in the championship with 1 race remaining. So 25 points are available for a victory. But DW would just have to bring it home in the points somewhere and he would still win the championship.
Yeah, I think the lowest he needs to finish, that is Devet at the moment, is 8th place. So unless he crashes out, so that could be an interesting one. But I think we're on board with Nesmax at the moment. And I think, yep, it's all good and well. That we keep an eye on there. There we go. 1 minute 38.86, and that's Dan, who is from the Netherlands. He's come up there. Very nice time from him. That 1 minute 37.423. So nice to have him, and also Twitch. He is there as well. A nice time from him as well. A 137.431. Also, it looks as though he's driving out from Wales at the moment, so that's great to have him on board with us on the South African Academy Online Racing. So great to have him with us this evening as well.
Just 8 thousandths of a second between those 2 international drivers.
So Devet still on the top of the log here in the first session. 11 minutes to go, and what a nice time that is, a 136.763. So he's already in the pits. He's already done his quali number 1, and I think he's very happy with what he's done this evening. So Nesmax, we're on board with him at the moment. Make sure where he's coming up and what he's going to be doing. I don't underestimate him at all. Very quick driver, driving out of Kuwait, is a South African. So just to let you know that as well. This gentleman's also going to be doing, he's going to be looking out to where he can put himself. That's Weza at the moment. He's going to be looking. He's down in the Cape of from the Cape region. So he's in South Africa, based in South Africa. Here on board at the moment, we are with Skadonks. And he's got a 1 minute 39, so still some work to be done. And Tix just comes in there and shows the boys in the McLaren what he's made of. He's just put on a 1 minute 36.812. A tremendous time from him. I'm sure you'll agree with me there, Jonathan. Fantastic time from him this evening.
Nice time, but if I've learned anything from experience when it comes to Nismax, is that it's not his time. In Q1 it's not even close, and you'll only sort of get, the only reaction you'll get out of him in Q2 is to be in the top 10. I think the only time he's going to show his pace is in Q3, so keep your eyes on him.
Yeah, we've opted this season, season 3, just to do the qualies. We've gone for full qualies just to give the guys a bit of practice. But during that practice session, they also get up to set that car up, get them the tires that they're going to be using, used and worn, and then obviously decide what they want to go with when it comes to the race itself. So one of the great things that we've done is obviously given it a full quali session. It hasn't worked too well, obviously, with the load shedding that we've had, to be honest, because we've had a number of drivers that couldn't make it. Somewhat disappointing, but I think that is the experience living in South Africa. You know, you just got to bear with it.
Formula One cars break down too, so you can just when your connection goes down, you know how Alonso felt. Riding on board with the Toro Rosso driver DW, he's actually out for a second run. We'll see if he actually is going to try and improve on that time. Take that first place a little bit further away from Tix. Awfully close at the moment. Just a tenth of a second.
Yeah, so you guys may be a little bit confused because what we're doing is we're streaming on 2 channels at the moment to give double perspective. And I don't know, Jonathan, if you want to give out your stream what it is so they can join that as well if they need to. Because you'll hear we'll start talking and one of us is watching one driver and the other commentator is watching the other driver, which gives you a nice coverage on the entire race, and also depending on who you're following at the moment, it could give you an indication of where we're going.
DW now on that fast lap. He's just entered sector 2. Currently fastest with a 136.763, but you'll want to improve on that. Not quite a tenth faster than second, it's about half a tenth. Want to bring that lap time down. Nismax, on the other hand, he went out at a 138.8, and he hasn't been back out. So if I know him like I think I do, he'll probably not really improve on that time in this session.
Yeah, I think you're right. It all boils down to the last session as usual. I've seen it time and time again where he comes back in a big way, Nismax, and then obviously goes for that last session, that last quali number 3, and then comes back with an absolute ace. But never underestimate the gentleman we're watching at the moment, which is De Wet. De Wet can definitely push his way. He is leading this championship, as we've already mentioned this evening. And there you go, a 135. in the first qualification session, a 1:35.867. So an amazing time put through there. Just watching this particular session, almost 5 minutes left in this session now, so that's going to be quite a thing to watch and see where he ends up. But I think he's already put it into their minds what he can do here in Abu Dhabi, and that's a good way of setting a benchmark, as you can see right now.
Said he'd want to get out there and just take that lap time away from ticks a little bit, and he did that. He took it away by a second.
Yes, so staff's asking how did we get two voices on the stream. Well, I tell you what, it took a while. It's taken me almost an entire season to figure it out, but we're just for those guys, we are using OPS, which is obviously our open software on a PC. We're streaming through a PC. And what I managed to find out accidentally, by the way, is I'm using the first mic I'm using is actually the PlayStation camera as the mic, and then what we're doing is we're feeding that through a streaming box, and we're able to go into a party now, and then I may be able to get Jonathan's voice coming through. So. Yeah, it took a little bit of time. I did phone, and I greatly appreciated Jonathan, because it was on the last minute that I phoned him up and said, listen, would you like to come and commentate? So I'm very glad that he's coming to commentate for the last race of the season here in Abu Dhabi, because he informs me that he could be racing next season. So that's quite an exciting move from him, and I'm hoping that's going to come about. He's busy building a rig, so that's also good. Or should I say his dad's building a rig for him, so that's a great news for his sake. So I'll probably have to look for another commentator. But yeah, all good and well.
I'll be your commentator on the track.
Fantastic. That's great news.
I don't like quiet races anyway. Well, I see DW and Tux have both retired from the session, so obviously they're just happy with their time. No need to use any more tires. Switch. Oh, you tried to go into the pits. You ran wide. You almost ran into the wall, and well, it's actually lucky. I've seen guys get disqualified for less. So he got away with that little U-turn there. Couldn't even see a warning on the screen, so got away with that. Still out on circuit, we've got Force. The Mercedes-Benz currently 6th with a 1:38.2. Guys at this point don't really need to improve on their times. Everyone will go through to Q2. This is just 12 drivers. Then in Q2 brings up you start to think about your race strategy. What tire are you going to start on?
So on board with Foss at the moment from my side, just having a look at him going around the track. I saw him practicing this morning, so he definitely has put in a number of laps, and I can see he's in the 1:38.252. So is he gonna get past that little barrier of the 1:37s? It's going to be an interesting one to watch out for this evening.
Trust me, the man has been online most of the week and not taking party invitations, so I think he's very much in the zone.
Yeah, pretty much focused.
Looking to work his way up the field.
Yeah, I mean, he's come back. He had a bit of an accident in his real-life job, which didn't look too good. I saw some of the pictures and the photos. So I'm hoping he's getting well, but it seems as though he's getting well because he's driving. He's trying to get that down as well. Skadonk's quite interesting. I haven't seen him in a while, so it's nice to have him back. And I think the last race he couldn't join because of load shedding. And you might hear me say a lot of that about that this evening, because that is one of the real things for us here in South Africa is load shedding. If you don't know what that is, it's basically the municipality or the government switches off our electricity to conserve the electricity grid, because we've got too many users of electricity. So if I cut out this evening, it might be because of load shedding, but at least we have Jonathan still being able to stream what's going on, so that's a good thing.
If anything does happen, the channel on the other side is obviously just TNB_Fernandes. So we just got Force and Kadonks on screen or on track, and just waiting for them to retire from the session so we can go through 2Q2. Both of them on slow down laps, so I don't think we'll see any change in the order. We were talking about the 2019 game earlier. One thing that would be quite a welcome surprise, and I'd like to see it, is bringing a junior formula into the official game. Sort of like what they do with MotoGP. You can start off on the small bike and work your way up, and if Formula 2 belongs to the FIA, as does F1, why not?
Yeah, I think that would be an amazing aspect to the game. Obviously, you know, it also means that we could have the Formula 2 series as well, and also the Formula 1. So that would be sort of a progression stage as well. And the way that esports is going at the moment, I think that would be an absolute tremendous, add tremendous value to the game as well, and also to the esports series.
It would actually be quite an easy addition. If you are already making the F1 game, it's a lot more complicated to make the F1 side of it. If you are making an F2 game, all of the cars have the same chassis and all of the cars have the same engine. So a lot of the mechanics you would just be repeating for all 24 cars. It would basically be liveries, and you'd be using the same tracks anyway. It wouldn't be a difficult addition. Well, I don't know if you want to go through the top 10, or should I? That's the end of Q1. Your results: DW with that fastest lap was of 1:35.8. He was followed by Tux in second, Twitch in third, Springbok Gamer fourth. I can't say that name in fifth. I'll try next time. Foss sixth, Kadonk seventh, Nizmax eighth, Weza ninth. Devon makes up the top 10. We got E-Voucher and Thomas in 11th and 12th. Dan, there we go. When I see too many letters and I'm trying to read quickly, I just skip it.
Yeah, I think it's Zoodmar, but we'll leave Zoodmar with Dan because I think that's his first name, and it's great to have him on with us this evening. Normally racing in the Apex series in Europe, so yeah, I think he's in the 6th tier from what I understand. So that's great stuff, and obviously it's great to have him on board with us here on the South African Academy Online Racing. So it's always we always welcome the international drivers anyway. Looks as though Hugh is out there. He was the first one out of the pits, and obviously the Ferrari of Skadonks is also out there. looking to get themselves around the track and get themselves in there. I think Skadonks is just ahead of him. So they're both the Ferrari drivers this evening on the outer laps.
As well as the Alpha. All three Ferrari powered cars getting out early. I'd say three, but there's four. That would be the Haas.
Yeah, and just having a look at the tyre settings at the moment, there are some hypersofts as well as ultrasofts and as well as supersofts out there. So quite an exchange going on between the mechanics on what are the right tyre compounds to be used in this evening's event. Remember, this is going to be a night race anyway, so it's going to be all exciting around that. Having lived in the UAE, I can tell you now, it's actually around the time they do the Grand Prix, it's sort of winter time, which gives you still the temperatures averaging around about 30 to 28 degrees, so it's not that much cooler, but normally at that particular time you can go up to summertime around about 52 degrees Celsius. So always nice to be out there, and especially during the evening, because it's an evening race, it's nice and cool. And they really go a little bit wild down in that particular area. They have some big name concert players coming out and really having a lot of excitement and fun around the circuit during this time.
It's one of the things I think F1 has got right in the last decade is getting Abu Dhabi in there as the final Grand Prix, and they really make quite a final show of it. No lap times on screen just yet. There's Max still sitting in the pits. He's got a set of hypersofts on that car. Don't think he's going to go out on hypers. Remember, the fastest lap you set, those will be the tires you start on. So if you're looking to go long into the race, don't go set a quick lap on hypers. So it's a difficult one around here. It could be an interesting strategy going out on the super softs, as does Twitch. With the super softs, he does a 137.6. Now you can go long into the race on those tires, but knowing the Abu Dhabi circuit, maybe go out on hypers in case you get damage in the first couple of laps.
Well, I see Zootman has got out, or Dan, he's gone out and he's used hyper soft tires, and he's put a 1 minute 35.996 on there. So he's current heading the poles at the moment in quali number 2. 10 minutes to go, just over 10 minutes and 20 odd seconds, counting down. So great time from him.
DW begins his first fast lap. Want to see what sort of time he can put down. He was obviously fastest in Q1. He's out there on a set of ultras. If he gets himself into the top 3 on that set of ultras, then we'll have 3 tire compounds in the top 3. Which means a lot of different strategies going into the race. And for the time being, this Max remains in the pits. Again, your only mathematical contender. Would this be DW's second title?
Yeah, it will be. Our first title winner is actually racing with you guys on a Friday. He was the first official winner of the South African Academy Online Racing. And then David took the next one, and if he gets above 8th place tonight, he's going to be taking the second time championship around the South African Academy Online Racing. So great stuff from him if he manages to seal the championship this evening.
And you'll be the first double champion.
That is correct. He will be the first double champion right here if he manages to get that right. So that's going to be an absolute fantastic achievement for him. And I'll be very thrilled if that does happen this evening.
He missed out on a double championship on Friday night. But roles were reversed. He was 19 points behind the championship leader, so going into this race he does have that cushion. Not every weekend you could win 2 double world championships. And then with missing out on that first one, I'm sure he just makes him want this one even more. Oh, his initial lap time of 1:36.5. Again, that is on a set of ultras, so don't read too much into it. Main purpose of Q2 is to get through in the top 10, because it's all about that tyre selection for the beginning of the race. Nosmax is on an outlap. He has just recently emerged from the pits, and he has gone out on a set of hypers. Thought he would go out on the harder compound. Springbok Gamer currently third, 1:36.8. Nice lap time. Twitch in fourth.
Dan, hello. I've just had a message from Dan. He's racing this evening with us. Welcome, and obviously it's a pleasure to have you with us this evening. And what an amazing time there. 1:35.996. 6 minutes to go in quali 2. However, what do you think, Jonathan? What do you think the final quali 3 time do you think they're going to be putting? I reckon a 1:34. Let's say 1:34.995, just for the fun of it.
Say by the end of Q2, probably a mid 1:35. I think the 1:34s will only come up in Q3. Just over 5 minutes to go. Still a lot of quick drivers that have not set lap times that are out on circuit as we speak. Tips is one of them. In the McLaren yet to set a lap time. He's in sector 2. Also in sector 2 we've got TNB Force. And then Weza in sector 3 and Nismax in sector 2. So keep an eye on those last 4 drivers. They're going to mix up that those timesheets.
Yeah, I reckon they're going to be wanting to.
He's going to be the first one over the line. He goes 5th with a 1:38.1. Let's go down and see who's next in that queue. It's going to be 3 drivers coming over the line shortly to set their lap times. And all of those drivers, I believe, belong in the top 5. Tux goes 4th with a 1:37.4.
Springbok Gamer, what a nice time from him as well there, Jonathan. If you can see there, Springbok Gamer 1:36.850. Session 2, qualification 2 there. 4 minutes left. We've got some trouble in sector 1. I think that was obviously Tux at the moment, but I see we are on board with him at the moment from my side.
We're in sector 3 with Nismax now. Goes around your final bend onto the pit straight. What can he do? He's currently 12th. He goes 6th. He goes 6th with a 1:37.9. It's quicker than the time he set in Q1, but definitely not giving it everything. But he's going to start on hypers.
The strategy is so important, especially coming into this race, and also according to the points conditions of where they're situated. So I think that's going to be a real tick over just to see what and who's going to be doing what.
Seems like for now 7 cars are going to be starting on the Hypersoft and 5 on the Ultrasoft. So no one choosing to start on the Supersoft. Maybe the tyre is just too slow.
Here comes Nesmax. I've got him on screen at the moment. That 1:37.949.
Devon currently in 10th. He is in the danger zone of falling out in Q3. Going over the line now to start a fast lap. He needs to improve. Thomas in 11th, also danger zone, as is Boucher. Boucher now going over the line. He's going to try and improve on that time. He does improve, but it doesn't get him out of the danger zone. He goes 11th with a 1:38.9. Just gut-wrenchingly close, just 0.2 of a second away from 10th. And Devon is safe for now. Force and Wes have retired from the session, obviously happy with their time.
Yeah, I think the guys going out there now, Devon, I think he wants to make sure that he gets above Skadonks at the moment, so let's see what he can do. Springbok Gamer also retiring there. I think he's happy with that 3rd position for this specific round. So yeah, and we just got under a minute to go, so I don't know if Devon's actually going to be able to get a time allocated, but he does go through to quali number 3.
We ride now with Twitch in the Alpha, I believe. Yes, he's in the Alpha. Currently in 5th place, 1:37.6. These guys here in the midfield, really no need to improve. Let's have a look at Boucher. He is out on circuit. He's coming into the pits with just 30 seconds remaining. He's missed the pit entry. 2nd time we've seen that. There's a little bit of reversing on the circuit, also gets away with it. Seen that twice on this weekend. Missing the pit entry completely, you don't want that in the race. Thomas now starting what will be a fast lap. His current time is a 1:41.1. He's in 12th place and in danger of falling out. Loses it there in sector 1. That's not going to help at all. Session has come to a close, so it's about finishing the lap you're on if you cross the checkered flag. Which is in sector 2 on a set of Ultrasofts, looking to improve. Who else is out on circuit? Other man out on circuit is Thomas, currently in 12th place. Obviously at risk of being eliminated. And then Twitch in sector 3, looking to improve. Just needs to find an extra 2/10. That'll take him 4th. But he's diving into the pits. Unless Thomas can do anything here, goes over the line. Can he improve? He stays 12th. The 141.1 does not improve. There you have it, the end of Q2. No problem. Well, let's just go through your order. Name again. First place. Dan in first place with the 135.9, the only man in the 135s. Then we've got DW in second, Springbok Gamer third, Tix in fourth, Twitch fifth, Nizmax sixth. I think he's got more than that. Weza seventh, Foss eighth, Kadonks ninth, Devon 10th, and then Boucher and Thomas being eliminated. They will take no further part in qualifying.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one now as we go into this qualification session. This is number 3. This is for the pole position of the last race of season 3 here on the South African Academy on Lone Racing. So we're all going to be eager beavers and see who is going to be taking that top spot. Already the Ferraris. Oh, it looks as though it is Tix. Tix is out. He's going to be wanting to put on that time. Looks as though he's on the Hypersofts and getting out there a little bit cooler now. So remember, the track temperature is going to affect this racing car. And we've got it set up like that anyway. So let's see what he can do this evening as he goes on his outer lap. Skadonk's also out, as well as Twitch. Ricky is his first name. He's going to be out there as well.
So a bunch of cars leaving the pits quickly. Obviously Q3 will be your shortest session, just 12 minutes. So you want to get out there, get that first lap down. If anything goes wrong, you've got enough time. Don't want to leave things too late. DW is emerging from the pits. He will start his warm-up lap, his out lap. This is obviously the all-important session, Q3. This is where they will start from. Everyone on a set of Hypersofts. No need to use another compound. The session is all about going as quickly as you can. Nizmax did do one less run than everybody else in Q1, so I wonder if he's got an extra set of tyres. I know Gavin is watching this race. He's on my channel. So I'm going to ask you, Gavin, why are you not at the race circuit? Does it have anything to do with... Well, it probably had to do with last night. I don't know what he did last night. I'm just presuming. Everyone out on circuit. No one in the pits. Gonna stay with Tix for the time being because he was the first man out. Just under 8.5 minutes remain on the clock, no times yet. Tux is going to be the first man to set a lap time. He's going out onto the pit straight now. He goes over the line with a 1:35.7. And he's immediately beaten by Twitch with a 1:35.4. These are impressive lap times coming in. Still waiting to see a time from Force. No time as of yet. Where's at third? Springbok Gamer fifth. DW goes third with a 1:35.8. Probably not as quick as he would have liked. Let's see, where is Nizmax? Nizmax is in sector 2. I said earlier on, I think we would only see his true pace light up in Q3. This will be his first of 2 possible runs in Q3. I think we'll get a much better idea of his pace. Just wait for him now to conclude with sector 3. Goes over the line and goes fastest with a 1:35.3. Nicely done.
Awesome
now
stuff from Nesmax. Awesome stuff.
If you have enough time, he needs to get back to the pits and get out there again. That's why I say this Q3 can be, time can be quite deceiving. Looks currently out on track. He's in third at the moment, 1:35.7. Really nice lap times there between first and fifth. Just 0.6 of a second cover the top 5.
Awesome driving from all 10 drivers at the moment, and really, as was mentioned by Jonathan, now if you just look at 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, even 6th, 7th, they are really just an incy-wincy bit behind one another. So this is going to be really an absolute one to watch here on the South African Academy Online Racing for this evening. And there,
Tix has gone fastest. Tix has gone fastest with a 1:35.2.
So Tix comes back in a big way now in that McLaren this evening and puts on that 1:35.230, as was mentioned by Jonathan. So it's not over yet.
It's obviously now going to force the hand of Nizmax and DW. They need to get out there and set another lap time. They want to start from the front row. Don't think DW wants to start in the midfield. So race, he'd rather start from the beginning, start from the start, and just basically go off into the distance. He doesn't want to be in too much traffic at the start of the race. He wants to get himself up the grid. Force coming into the pits. And Kadonk's out on track, but going awfully slowly. No action to speak of at the moment. People either in the pits or on the way to the pits in preparation for their second run. Current pole sitter coming into the pits with 3 minutes remaining on the clock. They still have a quick turnaround and get back out there.
So it looks as though De Wit has gone out. Let's see what he's up to, because I'm sure he's going to be wanting to get, as you mentioned, on top as pole position this evening. He needs that pole.
We know here in Abu Dhabi, starting in the midfield, it's a very easy circuit to clip a wing, and that's not what you want on lap 1. And he's starting on the super softs, so sorry, the ultra softs, so he's looking to go in a bit longer than the other runners, so he can't afford any damage at the start of the race. Even if it's minor wing damage that he can continue running on, any advantage he would have gotten out of the tyre, he's going to lose on the wing. So can't afford any damage. He's going to want to start from the front row.
So if you are watching the stream, let us know you're watching. Let's hear some who you're going to be supporting this evening. Who do you want to be on top of pole this evening? Who do you want there? And give us your predictions. Tell us who you think's going to win this evening. Who do you think's going to be taking? Do you think De Wit is going to take the championship this evening? Do you think all of these things need to be known? And why don't you comment in that section on the channel and give us an indication of who do you think is going to be where and ending up. Steph giving a shout out. Steph giving a shout out to Devon. Well done for making it to the top 10. That's a shout out to Devon there. So that's also great. And we're going to go with that as well. So really great to see that all happening here this evening as we're watching these guys coming around. So I'm on board with De Wit at the moment, just having a look where he's going to be ending up as he comes around now. Through start and finish, let's see where he ends up. Does he improve his time?
No, he does not.
He remains in 4th position, so there we go. 3 minutes left on the clock, so let's have a look and see where we're going to be ending up. At the moment, I can tell you, as we currently look at the roster, first Tex, then Nesmax, Twitch, we have De Wit, then we have Weza, we have Sudama, who's, as I mentioned, Danny, then we got Springbok Gamer, we got Foss in 8th position, Skadonks in 9th, and 10 we have Devon. There goes the checkered flag. It's done and dusted. It looks as though Tix is going to be starting in pole position this evening, unless somebody comes and squeezes through.
Still riding on board now with Nismax in the Williams. He's in sector 2 of what will be his fast lap on his second run. Can still mix things up here. He's just 0.3 of a second off the pace. Make that 1/10 of a second off the pace. I read that wrong. They wouldn't need to find much. he was holding anything back on that first run. Look at that.
Zuidmaier comes
Zudma
in.
goes faster, 134.7. Nismax is going to have to find, and he's coming to the pits. He's coming to the pits.
He's coming into the pits. Unfortunately, he's going to start off in 4th position this evening, and he's got to make a way through.
2 championship contenders on the night, DW and Nismax, separated by 22 points, and they're going to be starting from the 2nd row of the grid. So it's going to be an interesting start to the race. Interesting turn 1. I've had many interesting turn 1s here myself.
So De Wit in 3rd position on the grid this evening. Tix in 1st. Sorry, no, not Tix at all. It's basically Zuidmaier, Dan. He's going to be starting off in pole position this evening. Then it's going to be Tix. Then it's going to be De Wit. Then it's Nismax. Twitch is there. We do obviously have a number of other drivers that are joining now. In 6th position, Weza. Springbok Gamer in 7th. TNB Foss 13. He's going to be in 8th. And then Skadonks, he's going to be in 9th. Devon, nice drive from him this evening to in the Renault. He's going to be starting in 10th position. So guys, let's get ready for the last race of the South African Academy Online Racing, and it's going to be starting in a couple of minutes, and we can't wait to see what's going to happen. I'm going to let Jonathan, Jonathan, you can take over the commentary for the start. Let's see where they end up, and it's only a pleasure having you on board with us this evening.
Still looking at the pits for the time being. Everybody adjusting their strategies. If anything needs to be done setup wise, they're sorting that out now. Not completely familiar with the format, but if I'm not mistaken, there is a formation lap.
That's correct. Formation lap will be.
And here we go, we get the formation lap underway. Obviously, like I mentioned earlier, your 2 championship contenders, the only 2 with a mathematical chance of having an effect. They're going to be starting from the 2nd row, behind a yellow car and an orange car, a Renault and a McLaren. Nismax obviously down in 4th, as I mentioned. He can still take this championship. It's 22 points adrift. So definitely if DW finishes in the top 5, he will be champion. As far as I know, DW would either have to finish 9th, 10th, out of the points, or DNF. And Nismax would have to take the full allocation of 25 points. 2nd obviously just gives you 18, and that wouldn't be enough.
Yeah, so it is going to be an exciting one. It definitely is. So as I said, Jonathan's going to take us through the start of the race, and then we will continue from there. So it's going to be all eyes watching who is going to be where, definitely looking towards. It's going to be a night race, so that's one of the exciting parts. You can see the marina there on the circuit. Or in the circuit, there's that lovely hotel, which is that brightly colored building. And as we go forward into this event, it's going to be all tight. You can see them lining up on the grid now, and we're going to watch what's going to take place. And I'm going to let Jonathan take us through the start this evening.
I'm here. Just waiting for the start now. The red lights come up. 4 red lights, 5 red lights. And pause. There we go, we're underway. Good start by the Renault and the McLaren. Nicely done. Ooh, getting close. DW going around the outside. Almost contact between 3rd and 4th, but they stayed away from it. Good driving. Seems like everyone's coming through sector 1 without too much drama. Haven't seen any carbon fiber. Haven't heard any WhatsApps. So I think we're good. So in sector 2, halfway through lap 1. Not many changes. Nismax has made up a position. He passed DW. Devon has made up 2 positions. He's in 8th, started in 10th. And then obviously Thomas, who started in 12th. He's up to 11th. He's made up a position. Also have a late addition to the race. Referee. I'm not quite sure where I know him from, but I've seen this name before. Don't know much about the driver. Just keep our eyes on him because he has fallen off the rest of the cars and he's 30 seconds adrift. The end of lap 1. Top 2 remain the same. Tux remains in 2nd, hasn't really been able to challenge the Renault. Renault getting away at this point, 2 seconds up the road. And I think Nismax and DW will feel that they need to get past Tux, because the Renault now just beginning to get smaller and smaller on the horizon. Final race of the season at the Yas Marina circuit here in Abu Dhabi. (2019) this year will be the 10th running of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Been around since '09. Very much a Mercedes track. The most wins by a constructor coming from Mercedes with 5 out of 9. And most wins by a driver, that goes to Lewis Hamilton.
So still in 4th position at the moment, the current champion going through his paces. Nismax slightly ahead of him. Round about a second, it says, just going down there underneath that. Tix in 2nd position, and Zudmar, Dan, he seems to be in control of this race as we go. We got 28 laps to be done. We're in 3rd lap, so that's going to be an interesting one going around now, and we are taking you. But don't forget Weza, don't forget Springbok Gamer, Twitch in there as well, in 7th position, but I'm sure those places are going to change. Remember, strategy is so important now in actually doing what needs to be done in order to get out, and I think it's all down to strategy at the moment. On the Hypersofts, we can see that De Wet is on the Hypersofts at the moment. We've got a stop and go now for Devon. for corner cutting, so he's going to have to go in and take his punishment for that.
Riding on board with Nismax, currently in third place. He's got the McLaren ahead of him, just a second up the road. About 2.5 seconds ahead of him. We've got Dan. They going and just basically taking 2-3 tenths every single sector. So Nismax needs to get past you. Doesn't want that Renault to get too far down the road. DW on the other hand, he's in fourth place, sitting back. He's obviously seeing this happen in front of him. Nismax coming up to Tux. Just maybe want to keep a safe distance from that battle. He just needs to bring this car home, doesn't want any dramas.
Yeah, I'm on board with Nismax at the moment, and yeah, he's got Tux in his sights. He's obviously going to be looking to see if he can get past him at some time in this race. Obviously, DRS is activated now. It should be roundabout now. They should have that. This is the fourth lap. So I can see there is going to be a real push and tug to get past Tux at the moment. But I'm sure Tux is not wanting to give up anything at this point in time, because he wants to get near Dan.
He's increased that gap. DW now comes up on the inside. He goes up the inside of Nismax and reclaims third place. That's what allowed Tux to get 1.7 seconds up the road, is these two started battling. Nismax for the time being not showing any immediate counter aggression. He's sitting back for the time being. Maybe let DW have a go at Tux. See if they were to stay this way, DW would win the championship. And Nismax dives into the pits. Did we miss something? He's dived into the pits. I don't see damage, but there was definitely damage. There's a front wing change happening here, and Nismax will fall down the order. He becomes the first man to pit on lap 5.
I think the strategy now would be for him to make sure he puts on tyres he can go the entire race. So this might be in actual fact quite a clever strategy from him, even though he had that wing damage, to get himself right up there into the top spot this evening.
He's gonna have some quick drivers he needs to get around first on the way to that. Currently with TNB Force, makes light work of it. Gets superior traction onto the straight, and it didn't take much. Well, that Williams Mercedes outpowering the Mercedes. Don't know if Mo could be too happy about that. Thomas still going around in 8th. Started in last. Started in 12th, I believe. So having a good race so far. Holding things together and well inside the points. He's made up 4 positions. Another man to make up 4 positions has been Boucher. He's in 7th. The two of them have made their way through the field. 6th place, got Twitch. And in 5th place, having a good race so far. Quiet. But Springbok Gamer has picked up 2 positions since the start. Started in 7th. Doing a nice job so far. Maybe a potential podium by the end of this. Still a long way to go.
So we're in lap number 6 at the moment, and as was mentioned there, Springbok Gamer, who we are actually on board now, you can see the distance of Twitch behind him at the moment, and seems to be doing quite nicely there. So 2 seconds behind him, almost 3 seconds behind him, Springbok Gamer that is Twitch, the international driver. Ricky, I think, is his first name, and I can tell you now, he's got a bit of catching up if he wants to be up there with the leaders at the moment. De Wit seems to be holding up nicely. He's approximately 1 second behind Tux at the moment, who is 5 seconds behind Zuidman, who's Dan. He seems to be leading this race quite comfortably at the moment, but he's just pulled into the pits. So we're going to see a change in position at the moment, and it looks as though, yes, Tux has gone through now. He is on the super softs. I think he is. Let me just make sure. No, he's on the ultra softs. So he's going to be out there for a little while before he's actually pitting at the moment. And now De Wit goes into second position, but remember now he's on the hypersofts, so he is going to be considering what he needs to be doing in order to get himself back in the game. I just want to go down to Nesmax at the moment. Nesmax goes up on a position. He is on the ultra softs now as well.
Everyone on circuit on the ultra softs, with the exception of Thomas and Voss.
Yeah, so
Thomas has actually just come out on a set of hypers.
There we go, because De Wit, if you look at the car on the track at the moment, it says that he's on hypersofts, but if you go to the actual board where it tells you the tires, you can see he's actually on the ultra softs. He started on the ultra softs then.
Yeah, on my screen it's showing ultra softs on both, but from experience, trust the board. Never trust the screen.
Absolutely.
I've learned that. The DW remains in second place for the time being, 1.8 seconds adrift of your leader Turks.
Springbok Gamer
leading this race.
Springbok Gamer moving up
by 5 seconds.
Yep, and Springbok Gamer moving up there. He's just passed Hugh Boucher, so he's just come past him into 7th place, and just in front of him is actually the guy we're on board with at the moment, which is Nesmax, who seems to be around about 12 seconds behind Dan. So somebody's got some trouble in sector 1. They've got to be careful now. There's a 5-second stop-go penalty.
Twitch went off in sector 1. He took to the grass, and that's actually allowed Dan up into 4th place. Now Dan in a really strong position, because he's about 20 seconds behind your leader. Yeah, that's a 20.2 seconds behind your leader. It takes about between 22 and 25 seconds to make a pit stop here. So as things stand, he would come out in the lead. Those top 3 still need to make a pit stop.
So multiple warnings now given to Tux at the moment. He's got a 3-second penalty given to him. So that's going to affect this overall result. I'm sure that's going to come into play as well here this evening.
Right now with DW as he takes the lead as Tux dives into the pit lane. And now this is going to release DW into free air.
So
and he just needs to get a couple of, needs to do the best he can with these next couple of laps so that he can come in and pit.
So he's got 8 laps on those tires at the moment, Jonathan. So let's see what he does. Is he going to be creeping away, trying to extend that lead now, because he's got free rein, and just behind him is Weza, who's also on 8 laps on those ultra softs. So I think a clear strategy from him is to try now and make sure he gets that extension on that time, where he's going to make sure that he gets above that 20 seconds to put him in a position where he can actually take this Grand Prix in Abu Dhabi today. Oh, and Twitch is out of this race. Unfortunately, did not finish. So I'm not too sure what happened there, but he's out of this race.
And
Holly
Devon was
referee,
almost out.
he's also out.
Devon is out of this race.
Oh
I
my
found him
goodness.
in an Onco barrier.
So that's 3
So we
guys
have
now.
3 DNFs.
3 DNFs. 3 DNFs so far in this race. Just by the way, Dylan did apologize not being able to make it this evening due to work, so he's obviously extended his apologies, but it is the last race of the season, so here we go. De Wet now making sure that he's cementing his position up in front. He's going to try and get that time to such an extent that he pits and gets out before Tux and Nesmax at the moment. 15 seconds, so it's not a long way to go.
19.
19 seconds then.
Yeah. So the gap between DW and Tux in third is 19.2 seconds, and down to fourth it's 20.5. So needs to do a little bit more, needs to find another 2 or 3 seconds before he can confidently dive into that pit lane.
Now amazingly, I've got on my screen 14 seconds. So definitely something awry there.
I have it on gap from the leader, and I believe you have it on interval.
There we go, you're right. There we go, gap from the leader, there we go. That's much better. Thank you for that, Jonathan. I didn't realize that until I looked carefully. So 10 laps on. 10 laps on these current tires, and it looks as though Wessa is not going to give up either. He's going to be waiting for an opportunity to see if De Wet goes in and maybe follow suit.
Question now is, how many laps do you intend to get out of those tires?
He's got to be intelligent about it. He's got to make the right decision. Too far on these tires could cause something very bad for him.
If anyone can get 2 or 3 or even 5 extra laps out of a compound, it's this man over here. I've seen it time and time again. I've seen him inexplicably finish races. But those tires are starting to form a bit of a line on the outside. They don't look too fantastic. Weza behind him, 6 seconds down the road, 5.9.
So De Wet stays out.
Same age old. But Weza's had enough. He's coming into the pits. He's had enough of those tires.
I think a clever strategy. I think De Wet waited for him to go in to give him that extension there. So it's going to be tight. And as you rightly said, there are definitely lines forming on those tires. So this is going to be all down to whether he goes in on this coming lap. So he's in lap 11 of the 12 laps already done. 28 laps to go for the entire race, so almost halfway. On these tires at the moment.
So DW is your leader. He's currently in sector 2, leads this race by just a fraction under 16 seconds. We've got Tux in second, Nismax in third. Second and third are actually relatively close to each other on the circuit, just 1.5 seconds. 1.7 to be exact.
And if you're wondering why I'm hanging on DW, it's because we need to see if he's going to be pitting. Right now, he pits. So now, we're going to have a look now. We're going to go quickly, see how fast they're going to be. Here is Tix at the moment. Tix is still a little way off, coming around him, just behind him, Nesmax on 17 seconds. Here he comes through start and finish. Where is David? He's just come in, so he's not going to get out.
Just changing his tires. He's on his way now, but we're now along this pit exit. Is
Nesmax goes into second.
Only coming up the tunnel now. He's going to rejoin this race in third place. Nesmax has made quite a jump, and with the damage. So he had a long pit stop. He had to change a wing. So he's made up a lot of time.
And there, the three of them now. 1, 2, and 3 coming into picture. Car number 90 is Nesmax there. Just in front of him is Tix. Obviously, his partner not able to join this evening because of complications with his rig. I believe he's going to be sorting that out so he can be back in the seat for the next season. So that's going to be good stuff from Vino for real. But car number 12 now leading this Grand Prix. 4 laps on the Super Softs. 8 laps from Nesmax in the Ultra Softs at the moment. And then obviously Devet, he's just had the Super Softs put on the car. So he's going to be looking to gain that time back which he lost in the pit lane at the moment. Springbok Gamer in 4th position. So there he comes through. Wezza right up behind him as well. So that's going to be a bit of a race as well. Oopsie, excuse me. And we're on board now with Wezza, who's deep and very close behind Springbok Gamer, looking for any mistake now to get himself by. That's where he is. That's where he's positioned himself. We come through the kink section here at in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Springbok Gamer holding him off quite nicely there. He's gone a little bit wide there, but no advantage gained by Wezza for that particular effort. And as you can see, 13 seconds behind the leader at the moment. There he goes in the DRS sector, comes past now. So Wezza now goes past Springbok Gamer. Exciting racing going on.
Springbok Gamer hasn't given it up just yet. Still on his gearbox as they enter the second DRS zone. Now Springbok Gamer will have DRS. Down into the braking point. Who's going to brake later? Wezza's got the inside line, and it seems like for the time being he's won that battle.
Nice bit of racing between them. No touching, which is what it's all about. Obviously guys being very aware of who's around them and obviously not making it known to be bumping. So that's great driving from both these drivers. I commend them both. Nesmax into the pits, guys, at the moment. Here goes David. He goes past now. He's in second position What a race we're having, ladies and gentlemen. What an absolute fantastic experience. We're watching a true champions this evening from all that are driving. So great drive from them coming through.
There's Max now. He gets underway. He's in that tunnel, leaving the pits. Looks like he's going to come out in 5th place. He is out in 5th place. It's now 7.5 seconds adrift of Springbok Gamer. And now it'll be a race till the end.
And there's Max now going for the super softs. He's round about 21 seconds behind the leader at the moment. Tix is on 6 laps on these super softs. De Vet has only done 2 laps and he's 1.3 seconds behind the gentleman that's just in the screen there at the moment, which is Tix. So really exciting racing from these guys. I'm sure they're going to be looking to see where they're going to be coming through.
Now the brilliant strategy of DW just taking those tyres a little bit further than he probably wanted to. Now he's got an extremely fresh set of tyres, just now 3 laps old. And towards the end of the race, if Tix is still ahead of him, he's going to have 4 laps fresher on his tyres. And Tix is going to be crawling home. Not sure of the lifespan of these super softs, so we'll have to wait and see. Look for who's got the most laps on a set of supers. That is currently, if that's Force and your leader Turks. They've both done 7 laps. And then Kadonks, he's on 10 laps on those ultras.
I've seen these guys do really long stretches on those types of tires, around about 15 laps, but that's really pushing it.
I'm not as familiar with the 50% distance, so all of these tire spans look a little different. Now on lap 16, Tix still leads, holding that gap at 1.5 seconds. Wes still down in 3rd. Springbok Gamer still 4th. But Mismax coming up just 4 seconds down the road. Was 7.5 seconds down the road after his pit stop. So he's made 3.5 seconds up in no time. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's giving Springbok Game all sorts of headaches in the very near future. Dan down in 6th. Led this race. Is in a fairly strong position at one stage. Led the race by 5 seconds when he came into the pits. Found himself down in 6th. See 1 or 2 things not going his way, contributing to that result. And then we've got a man returning from hibernation, Mr. Force. He's down in 7th. Doing a good job. Then your top 10 are made up with Boucher, Kadonks and Thomas. Back at the front, Tix still leads. 1.2 seconds now the gap, so it has come down 0.3 of a second, but crucially keeping DW out of that DRS 1 second range. When you fall into that 1 second range, DRS gives you all sorts of problems.
Well, I think De Wit's pretty comfortable because he knows at this point in time that Tux has that 3-second penalty.
As well as the older tyres.
As well as the older tyres, and you can see now Nesmax coming back now. He's now just taken 4th position away from Springbok Gamer.
Springbok Gamer is in the pits, putting on a fresh set of ultra softs. Gone down to 6th place. I think you should be safe from Force. Let's have a look. Where is Force? Force is only coming around the final corner now, and he's diving into the pits. So Springbok Gamer will keep his 6th place.
I don't want to not mention the guys that have really put all the effort in this season. That would be definitely Thomas. I think this is his rookie season. He's done exceptionally well, and I need to just mention that. He came in to this season 3 very unaware of what was up in front of him, and for his rookie season he's done exceptionally well. I think hats off to him. Commend him on really sticking with this whole process. But I'm sure he's going to be really looking forward to the next season, because it's really put him in a position where he understands now what it makes and what it takes to obviously be a rookie in such a season as well. Voss, he's obviously raced for Mercedes this season. He's also a rookie season when it comes to no assists, so he's also done exceptionally well. Skadonks, we've seen a bit of him, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of him as well. Hugh Boucher, also an interesting character. He just started very recently with online racing, and we're glad to have him on board with us on the South African Academy Online Racing. He's looking forward to next season. He's already given an indication that he wants to be racing with the SAAOLR gentleman and founder, Mr. Dylan. So we'll see how that goes down. Springbok Gamer, what a gentleman this is. Started off in 2016, did the 17 series, and now in 18, a formidable competitor when it comes to this form of racing, especially F1. Come in leaps and bounds at the moment. Nesmax, wow, what can we say about Nesmax? Absolutely fantastic competitor, and really has done exceptionally well this season, and this could be the opportunity where he takes the first championship here. But I can tell you now, up in 2nd position, there is a very determined man at the moment who wants to take a championship, and he's 2nd of the South African Academy Online Racing Championships. So he's not going to be letting anybody push him around. And then Tux also joined us this season. Fantastic drive from him. Really featured as one of the great drivers as well. And I want to say also that his teammate, Vino Farrell, what a tremendous effort he's made to improve on his driving. Also a rookie for season 3, so we've had a number of rookies driving with us. But I can tell you now, dedication does pay off, and we've seen that this season with most of the drivers you are now watching. So great stuff. And then Zoodmeyer, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, or Dan, he's joined us on 2 occasions and done exceptionally well in all of those times he's joined us, and we're only pleased to have him on board. It's exciting to have a guy from another country driving with us. Where per se, he's obviously from the Netherlands, so it's always good to have him on board. Twitch at the moment, we'll see what happens there. We'd like to have him back as well. And I forgot Devon. Devon has also done exceptionally well. Unfortunately, Frickie had an injury, couldn't join us, so he's recuperating. And then Sean the sack man. Obviously, we'd like to see him back racing with us here on the South African Academy Online Racing, which I'm sure he will be doing so. I think he's been a bit busy this year, and we hope to see him back soon with us. So lap number 21 going down at the moment. 7 laps left in this race. It's do or die situation for Nesmax at the moment. He's on 6 laps on those super softs. So we're going to see where he is currently on board with him at the moment. So let's see if he can get himself a nice shot from the helicopter at the moment, taking us across where he is. And is he able to come back now and either just keep that second position in the championship, or is he going to go for it? And that's the question that's on all our minds at the moment. The leader is now going backwards and forwards here, because as you just saw, De Wet is so close, and it's going to be very close at the moment, on board with him. Him and Tix now really pushing one another for that top position. Is he going to do it? I can see some careful, calculated driving happening. I think Jonathan's going to take over if he can see what's going on at the moment. Absolute fantastic racing going ahead here.
Nothing in it here between first and second. We're riding on board with DW from TV Pod View. Just 0.4 of a second from Tux. Two have come side by side a few times. We saw the slightest of contact. No damage for either one. Good racing. Springbok Gamer picking up a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Been quite a problem at this circuit. DW getting really close up on the gearbox of Tux. He's gonna surely get DRS. Yes, he does. It's all gonna come down to that braking point. Moves to the outside. Tux goes defensive, and he's gonna hold on to that first place for now. This is going to lead them off into a second DRS point. DW gets DRS. He's side by side with Tux, and he's past him down the straight. Ooh, and Tux very late on the brakes. And DW's managed to hold that. DW leads. The championship leader. He leads here in the final round. And now he just needs to bring it home. The writing is on the wall. The only championship contender. He's down in 4th place. And he's got a lot of work to do just to find himself on the podium. It's really DW's race and championship to lose at this stage. Just needs to hold things together for 5 more laps.
And what an awesome drive it's been. He's done 10 laps, and I think obviously Tix with those 14 laps on those super softs, definitely, as we mentioned, he has De Wet had the advantage with the tires that he's currently got on. And I mean, I've seen De Wet finish a race on the last corner, and actually the beginning of this season he went completely until he actually had a puncture and finished the race with a puncture. So that, I hope, is not going to be the case this evening. I think he's learned his lesson there, and he's definitely wanting to make sure he finishes this race on a high and no mistakes. And I tell you what great driving it was to see these two coming out alongside one another and still give enough space for each other around those corners. So that was fantastic driving. But if we currently see what's going on now, it's De Wet. He's a leader of this race, 10 laps on these tires, then Tux, then we have Weza, who is in 3rd position, Nesmax in 4th, Zudmar, he is now in 5th position, Boucher in 6th, so that's a good one for him. And then Springbok Gamer, we have Voss, we have Skadonks, and then once again we have Thomas. He is sitting pretty in 10th position in the points, so he will sit in the points. This will definitely help with the Constructors' Championship, because that's still a little bit open, and I don't recall, did I send that to you, Jonathan, the Constructors?
You just have a look. Yes. Well, the Constructors are between Williams and Toro Rosso. $26 points in it though. Just 4 laps to go. That's now crucially, his tyres 15 laps old. Man behind him, TNB Weather, just 12 laps old. Wonder if that's going to come into play. But having said that, Weather's got his hands full with another problem. His mirrors are going to start showing Nismac shortly. I don't know how much he's worried about catching second place and how much he's worried about that Williams behind him. Nismac's in 4th place. Coming into DRS range now on that Red Bull of TNB Weather. Gonna want that podium.
So let me tell you at the moment, if Weather comes in, I mean, there is a point difference which is quite high at the moment, but it will definitely close that gap, and we will have De Wit, Nesmax and Weather as 1, 2 and 3 for this championship.
Coming up now,
there we go, nice
Weather.
move. Nice move, sorry Jonathan. Oh. Are you watching what I am, Jonathan? That was unbelievable.
I'm watching the same thing. Seems to be watching the same thing. This Max still in 4th. Didn't make the move stick.
Oh,
but
and
now
he comes
Weather
round.
runs wide. And he's done it. This Max has done it. He's done enough. He's gone up into 3rd place. And now he's going to set off after the Turks. That gap 6 seconds. Keep our eyes on that gap. Not a lot of time now, just 2 laps to go. 5.8 seconds, that gap does come down, but I think Tux should be able to hold it. But those 17 laps on those tyres could potentially be his handicap in the latter stages of this race. Taken half a second out of him in Sector 1.
And now I've just moved up to Tux to see how far he is, because he is, and he's got a 3-second penalty. So just bear that in mind. That could overall upset the result for him. So unless Nesmax has some penalties as well.
He does. He definitely has one. He might have 2. But he definitely has one. I saw that on the screen. It's difficult to keep track. Just have a look here and confirm DW has no penalties. Tux has 3 seconds. Nismax has 6.
So Nismax has 6.
Weather, nothing. Three seconds to Dan. Springbok Gamer just 3. Archer none. Congrats. Force just the 3. Actually, the driver's pretty much well behaved. Just the 3 Fokadonks. Thomas up to 9. And then the rest of the cars retired. So DW safe, no penalties. And then Tux with 3 seconds, Nizmax with 6. So if Nizmax were to finish in second, he'd have to pass Tux and pass him by, well, at least 3 seconds. Finish ahead of him 3 seconds. That gap now 3.4 seconds, so I think he's safe. He's got that second place. It will be well deserved.
So we are about to head into the last lap of this race, because we are on lap number 27. I'm on board with David at the moment, so he's going to be coming through to complete lap number 27, going into lap 28 any second now. So we're going to come through a right-hander, a left-hander, another left-hander, then a long right-hander. And here that long right-hander comes in. And one more, and then on to start and finish for the final lap of this Grand Prix here. And it is definitely, here we go. We are lap number 28. You are now almost sure to see this man standing at the podium and taking his second title here as the champion, and I'm going to say world champion for South Africa online racing, because he has done exceptionally well in that Honda. He did race it in the last season. He's now racing it in this season. So definitely it's going to be down to the last, I would say, a couple of minutes, or less than a minute, before this race ends. And definitely what a drive from him, what a great drive from him. 15 laps. I remember telling you, I've seen him do 15 laps on these tires, and he has done 15 laps on these Super Softs.
You've got to remember what a drive it's been. He started from the second row, made that first set of tires stretch, made the second set of tires stretch, and he hasn't put a foot wrong. He hasn't even got a penalty. And when you take all of that into consideration, that he started from third, he's had no damage, he's had no penalties. He's going around that final corner now, and he wins in Abu Dhabi, and he takes the championship with him. Very nicely done. Go down to Tux, who has finished in second. Weza has finished third. Nizmax has finished fourth. So your top 4 are all classified. We wait now for Dan, who goes over the line. Got a 5-second stop-go penalty that was unserved. So Springbok Gamer almost a minute behind. So I think that 5th place should be fine. It's just got over a minute worth of penalties. Didn't see that coming.
Jonathan, do you want to see if we can just get David into the party, if you can invite him? Let's see if we can have a quick chat with him and obviously be the first to congratulate him. I think that would be a very, very suiting finish to this particular season of Season 3. We can obviously ask him about the race, how did it go, and I think that would be great to do that. If you can get him in, let's see if we can get him in.
course, now we'll go over the line. You'll classify in 7th. Nicely done. And that's your top 10 finishes. And, well, all of your finishes. Archer finished in 7th. Last driver to be classified.
And joining us now is obviously David. David, what a drive. What an absolute magic drive from you. Congratulations. Taking, obviously, the trophy there. We can see you up on the podium there. Very nice drive from you. Well strategized. David, are you there? David,
sorry, can you guys hear me?
yeah, we can hear you, good man.
Sorry, man, the headset just went flat now.
Fantastic drive from you, David. I mean, what an absolute, one of your best lap there was 1 minute 39.199. No penalties, 25 points. You rocked this evening. And I tell you, just take us through that win, because, I mean, you stretched those tires quite dramatically through this race.
Yeah, and the battle with Tix was actually quite intense as well. Because I know what's at risk, and I don't want to risk too much, but then again, you want to win as well. So, with the battle with him, it was actually quite good.
I think Nismax also, he obviously wanted to get up there as well. He finished in 4th position. He had a couple of penalties, unfortunately. He had round about, I think, 6 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. So that obviously did affect his race towards the end there. But, I mean, what a fantastic triumph. And now double champion at the South African Academy Online Racing, a double champion, so congratulations. And by the way, I have something for you, so we need to get together. I've got something for you. Definitely we need to take a couple of pics there as well, and put it on the website as well. So I do have something for you. I'm not going to tell you what it is right now, but I do have something for you. So I'll contact you during the week, find out where you are, and then we'll get together, man.
Yeah, no problem, mate. We can discuss something or just have a beer.
That's great. That's great. And obviously, Jonathan, you're invited, so you come along as well, and we get together and we do that. But really nice stuff from all of us, and thank you for watching. And season 4 will be happening in May. So we'll all be anticipating for that, and we're going to see what the drivers are going to be bringing. But once again, a big thank you to all of you who've been watching the stream, as well as all of the guys who've been involved in the organization. Staff, big up to you as well, good man. Thank you for all the support you do behind the scenes. And it's also to Jonathan, thank you for coming and supporting us this evening. And I'm hoping... if you're not racing next season, you'll be joining us in the commentary box, and we'll go from there, guys. So thank you, and big up to everybody who's been participating on this channel as well.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy.
Cheers, man. Good one. Cheers, man.
Cheers.